but I know you by the Spirit. Us and more around the world than we will ever know. And we want to this afternoon a little bit of the joy that he left behind with us. Full of regret and sorrow. I know that there are things that we just all wanted to be able, but things work as they work. Amen. And all things do work together. So at this time, I'm going to ask Sister Afia Mwangaza in the libation ceremony.
A great honor that I come before you and that I invite you to join with me, uniting the spirit of our brother, our master, with the spirits of our ancestors who've gone before. If you would stand, please. In the tradition, of our ancestors, we call water, which is the source of all life, which embodies the spirit of life and carries the life that connects us as we stand in the present, connects us with the past, and helps us to shape the future as Saladin would have us do. First, by calling his name, Saladin Muhammad. In connecting us with our future, we also call the names of those before who are awaiting him and who will reward life of service that has allowed us to not only survive, but to give us guidance as we move forward into the future. Out the name of those who've gone before, one, I will pour libations, and you join me, which is in a Khan word, which means, and so it is. We can begin with Brother Al-Hajj Malik next.
Jim Grant. Louis Turner.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Alexander M.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Maroon Russell Show. Sorry, Daniel Cole.
Ashe. Ashe.
Queen Mother Moore.
Harry White.
Ashe.
Reed White.
Ashe.
Abdullah.
Ashe.
Khalil Hussein.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Eric Headley.
Ashe. And to those whose names are unknown, lay the path for us to move forward, to not only to survive the 400 years of the African Mayafa, but can sustain us in the struggle that we pick up the work.
Ashe.
Thank you, Sister. This time, I really should have asked you to continue standing as we say your voice and sing Black National Anthem, after which we'll turn the ceremony to the Laughing House and the musical selections with food. the fruit of labor singing ensemble.
Although the cultural aspect to the organization, brother Saladin, our beloved comrade, Saladin, we're going to sing a special tribute to brother. As you all know, Saladin was a fighter, never gave up. He keeps his love song, because he knew he would have to come back around again. We had to get a second breath. We had to build our strength. So this song, they could
It's not a catch a second. So it's for us to, the goal gets home, we got to catch our breath because we got to finish those 26 miles. So we still on. Now if you're feeling better than the leaves are making you blue, we all know life has never been a stroll downhill. But some worry that the dream is tied and that we must run left. In a marathon race, we catching the second breath. Catch a second breath. Bring your shadow in between the words. Catch a second breath. Come on, catch a second breath. Hanging on the comments, working on a living dream. Now when the journey began, with the dreams that we carry inside, the sun shone real road ahead and the light. Now the road is narrow and it quickly turns and the rush like bars our way. Power in the final power within the rock of the way. Catch a second breath. Bring your shadow in between the breathe. Catch a second breath. Catch a second breath. Not hanging on the convent scheme. Working on a living dream. As I go on, never will stop. Tumbling down. Gotta take a baby who was former she in town. There's a wall that separates rich from poor. A little boss like to do more than lose. So do the right things right. Come on. Catch the second breath. Bring your shadow in the dream. Catch the second breath. Come on. Catch the second. We're not laying on the convent scheme. We're working on a living dream. Now if I let no friends, you shine like a holiday star. You never should look this life better by far. So forward time, two steps back, no time to lose. It's the people's hour. Let's fight the power and carry the dream. Oh, come on, catch the second breath. Bring your shadow. Catch a second breath. Come on, everybody. We're not laying on the convent scheme. Working on a living dream. A second breath. Come on, catch a second breath. Bring your shadow. Working on a living dream. Catch a second breath. Second breath. Like the song. Oh, please free. We're working on a living dream.
Come on,
Saladin in 1972 when he was trying to unite the struggle for nations that were struggling against colonialism. And it was a challenging hotel program going, trying to destroy our movement. And some main speakers there. And never forget how he saw Saladin walking, and he had a stride, pride, proud stride. He walked with pride, of course. Well, we ran into Saladin again after another tragic moment. And again, Saladin was trying to pull things together. This meant to put a chill all the activists, not just here in North Carolina, but the South. November 3rd, 79, murdered 5 freedom fighters, 5 working with others. And again, I know I was feeling that too hot, but Randy Saladin, I think he was in the office, and I was in the former office. We had a chance to bump heads again. And again, Saladin, pull together the other strong freedom fighters, working class fighters, and some friends, and the Rukia and Alexander Evans we had in our community. Saladin was always there trying to build unity. And unity was not an act of charity, it was an act of necessity. So this song, I read, our beloved brother, Saladin,
entitled Solidarity.
we're waiting for our band in the box.
Somebody's always asking, what is it that we're always screaming about? Somebody's asking me, what is it that we're always screaming about? There ain't the injustice no more. We can't sit back while they are. Don't you understand that we're silent? We die. What will be heard? We'll bring it to you. Solidarity. We unite to one another. Come and stand with us, my brother.
Solidarity.
Hear the voice, and the people must always be heard. Factory workers lose their jobs, sent home with no gain. Technology takes the place of man, live fit from pain. They cannot rise so unnoticed, just put on each other back of the line. They will understand behind. So lift up your voice, you have a choice. We're gonna bring it to you. Solidarity to one another.
Solidarity.
Come and stand with us, my brother. Hear the voice of working people, and the people must always be. No, they cannot abide. Go unnoticed this time. Please at the back of the line. They will understand we have power. So lift up your voice. You have a choice. We're gonna bring it to you. Yeah. To one another. Come and stand with us, my sister. Hear the voice of working people. The people must always be heard. The people must always be heard. The people must always be heard. Wow, let's do it one more time. Let's encourage them. Thank you, Brother Saladin, for always giving opportunity. So this time, we're going to hear from people who are sisters and brothers in the movement, close to Brother Saladin and the movement around the world that he helped stimulate, motivate, and make time. What I'm going to do, we asked each of the speakers, and there are a number of them because where Saladin moved and operated in. And today, we want to be able, a look at the breadth of his touch, his brilliance, his mind for us all. So I'm going to ask, really, I'm asking you now, I'm going to hold to the 4-minute requirement, and I'm going to say it like that, that the family has asked, because we have a lot to hear today. One opportunity to be able to speak. We want to honor the family, and we also want to honor. So, would you please come up in the order in which you're listed? Sue Perry Cole, Larry Wellman, Ida Cooper, Shafia and Balia, Muhammad Adil, George Wakmunski, and then there's a representative of Carolina Public Service Workers Union. If you can come in that order, when the other person out, you just start making your way down. All right? Is that all right? And if you go past your 4 minutes, I'm gonna smile first, and I'm gonna nod, and I'm gonna stay beside you. Then I'm gonna just take that mic. Come on up to the podium. God bless you. Come on, let's get Sue Perry Cole.
Good afternoon to Naima Muhammad and her entire family, and to all your honor and show respect for a very important leader, Saladin Muhammad, much for so many during his life of service by organizing ordinary purity and power of all who want control over their own lives. I want to begin my remarks by expressing my deepest condolence to the family for their loss. And I want to say to Sister Naima, thank you for the opportunity today to me to share these brief remarks with you, to give you Muhammad as I knew him. It's so very, very important to emphasize who Saladin was and how he lived his life, because today, we as a community of people who have long lived under a regime of racial oppression, we need more to fully understand Saladin Muhammad as a role model to follow. Trump's big lie that the 2020 election had been stolen from him, which has a surge in white supremacist activities and countless incidents of violence. We need to follow the example of Saladin's persistence without deviation of organizing, guiding, and leading our people's fight against. I knew Saladin Muhammad over a period of about 40 years. To share with you today occurred in the early 80s when I was serving as executive aide of North Carolina's Wilson office. I was young. Yeah, I was young. Idealistic, enthusiastic, and very inexperienced. I hired Saladin Muhammad in the early 80s to work as a paralyzing in employment law. He demonstrated excellent professional skills, client interviews, case planning, legal research, analyzing legal documents to appeal with clients at unemployment appeal hearings when a claim for unemployment is denied. In the beginning, I didn't recognize that Saladin would become an experienced, wise, trusted advisor, guide, and counsel to rely upon during my leadership of an organization seeking the most serious legal problems confronting low-income clients in an extreme state. Let me share with you one example that illustrates how Saladin used his outstanding paralegal education, analysis, and evaluation to hone in on key legal issues, policy reform, and advance. Also performing his paralegal denied unemployment benefits, and upon further analysis of the facts, being recognized that the woman client had been experiencing a hostile work environment, sexual harassment. The offensive and discriminatory behavior involved instances perpetrated by a supervisor who created an abusive work environment by telling sexual and distasteful jokes in the workplace. Was referred to a local private attorney who won the client's court battle and secured a military award. You may recall Anita Hill's allegations of sexual harassment did not occur until a constitution was conducted in 1991. Share the story of Saladin employment law advocacy because it illustrates his keen intellect and the pioneering and groundbreaking legal he spearheaded on behalf of working people while employed at legal aid. Referencing the arch-conservative political atmosphere that existed in 1980, the lawsuit brought by Legal Aid of North Carolina was filed under the Voting Rights Act, electing members of the Rocky Mountain City Council. You should know that Saladin were attorneys litigated that voting rights case by assisting in crafting the tactics and strategy that produced the long-term system change that has resulted in 2000. And I will say this, that 40 years ago, serving as one of the plaintiffs in such a lawsuit with the potential standing relations of power required extraordinary acts of personal courage, and while the plaintiffs potentially placed themselves, their families, and their organizations at retaliation and unknown harm by challenging the existing power structure. I want you to know that Saladin served as a rock. So let me say this. Last sentence. I gotta cut it short. He was there for transforming society as well as themselves, as serving as change agents, justice.
Amen. Those of us in Rocky Mountain call her mother movement. Y'all know that one right. Love you, sis. That was wonderful.
Greetings. Assalamualaikum. Peace be upon you. My name is Muslim for Social Justice. Muslim for Social Justice offers heartfelt condolences to family members of Brother Saladin. Brother Saladin's passing away is a huge loss movement. In the Muslim tradition, we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un, from God we return. Brother Saladin was a blessing for the social justice movement in this country. He was a champion for the Black liberation movement. Saladin Muhammad founded, of course, Black Art, but there's another also, Muslim for Social Justice, of which I am a member, and we have multiple members here. Brother Saladin was building a Muslim liberation theology where Muslims become freedom fighters and challenge the capitalism and imperialism, among other oppressions. We, as members of Muslim for Social, time with Brother Saladin, learning from his wisdom, reading political booklets and pamphlets. After by Brother Saladin, Freedom Manifesto with Black Freedom actually became guiding principles for Muslims for social justice. More importantly, Brother Saladin offers to support Muslims for social justice critical challenges during our growth. Our God of Brother Saladin's tremendous support. We should learn about Brother Saladin's work. Brother Saladin has left behind books, videos, speeches, and most importantly, comrade mentor. The organization he formed are an example of his incredible work. Brother Saladin emphasized political study and political education. He was an organic challenge us to organize at the grassroots level and build the working class's power. The level of unity, even amongst ourselves, through struggle, build social justice unionism, do not non-profit industrial complex will not just struggle, and many other essential your generation tremendously. And I will cut it short now by saying that if you see injustice, then you stop it with your hand. If you cannot stop it with your hand, then speak out against it, and at least say something in your heart, which is the weakest level of your faith. Let us follow the who lived his life with the strongest faith for justice. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. That was powerful, by the way. I bet Saladin.
Larry, put it up to your mouth. Put it up to your mouth.
They did it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been years ago. At that time, I had no idea that this man would become my brother. Saladin was the only man in the world who was using the same word. I met all kinds of people, especially during my years in the military. But not in Muhammad. We both shared big common history, and we both loved the sport of boxing. But our were ancestors, and sometimes we would do so for days on end. Studied and taught on these people. I could never quite grasp how they pointed out to me that all these ancestors had one similarity. They were all giving their lives for a cause that was greater than themselves. Being as a metaphor for our fight for justice for working people. Besides the top of workers about organizing a union or hand out pamphlets. We were not always welcome by the man. Sometimes they would even call the cops and say, "Yo, Saul, we best be getting up out of here." The fame of Papa with his neck. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. He would say, "Understand, brother Larry, we've not broken any law. We have a constitutional right to assembly. Understand, we have the right to freedom of speech, and these workers have a constitutional right to dignity and the right to earn a living wage." He would go on and he would explain, "Brother Larry, we're in a dog fight. I go all 15 rounds. And I ain't heard no bell ring yet." But he would tell me, "Put on your big gloves. We can keep on fighting." Well, on the way back home, he would tell me, "Understand, brother Larry, when I leave my house in jail or die, to protect the rights of workers. We can't win this fight if we keep backing up. Understand that it's going to come at the sooner ring and hold our ground and fight back against corporate greed. But now, the time passed with gloves. And it's torture. Not only to be gloves, to stay in the rain and keep fighting until we hear the bell. Brother Saladin, take your rest. God knows you earned it. Thank you so much. See in the back, this is a pair of boxing gloves. Those are big boxing gloves, too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Cooper. Are you Cooper? Oh, I'm sorry. Out of Williams. Correct. So right out of Williams, not out of Cooper.
Good afternoon to each and every one. All right, to the family, to each one of you. I did not know Mr. Saladin back to North Carolina in 1995 when his name was Bill White, English name we have now. But after being in his presence for quite a few years, I found him to be a person that wanted to make a difference for a lot of people's lives. During the Martin Luther King Day celebration every year in January at the Blooming Hill Community, he attended, and he was the keynote. He was also noted for Black works for justice. And I'm sure that there are many that could testify that they know that. I would say that this is not something that Mr. Muhammad stumbled upon. See, God had put it in his spirit some years ago. I'm believing that something that God had called him to accomplish, that God showed him the problem of plan. If there were obstacles to face, he might have been threatened, ridiculed,
Thank you so much, Sister. And now we'll receive Sister Shopper.
I'm going to have to read this fast. It is from God we come, and it is to God. I was 19 years old when I met Saladin in 1972. Steps of the Philadelphia office of the former political prisoner and COINTELPRO victim. I would go on to work with and under and learn from and travel with over the next 8 years in the African People's Party on Black independent political action support, international solidarity, police abuse, and supporting transit, helping to build local 1199 union and legal services where we both work. A senior member, a mentor, a big brother, a protector of me, and so many. He was a martial artist, one of the founders of the African Institute of Martial Arts. And as an ex-gang member, he played a significant role in the gang peace summits. Living the principle of collective over individualism, he and Naima, the street house collectively. Not only I grew up politically, and that's what I and the blood Muhammad and Shakuyo family. And to this day, when the booklet, The U.S. Imperialism in the Book, Saladin made several of us help research, edit paragraphs at the dining room table that he built. Just recently, how much an impact positively we had Jerome Street. But I don't remember, Naima, how much, but I'm sure that you can talk about that. In 1980, of being where the majority of our people and moved to the South. So I went to their family roots here and me to Atlanta. After a few years to move to North Carolina, we went fishing on the river. Community radio WRFG, I covered the folks about the work of the newly organized Black Workers for Justice. Realizing something, this is where the real work was going on. Living the principle possible for Baba Sufu and the Berry to move south and contribute to the establishing of Black workers, not some elite. He made us think, learn, study in changing North Carolina, the South, and the world, including contributing to Rocky Mount electoral system from at large to districts, Black elected officials to please take note. To think, learn, and write. But more than that, he believed, called upon us to learn, think, organize, write, and lead. No talented to 10%, but all of us. Organization over individualism. Collective education and leadership. No big eyes and little U's. We, BWFJ, continue in fighting for self-determination and power and self-determination. For fighting for must have, excuse me, in the spirit of BWFJ, continue with fighting for self-determination and power. For you cannot have it without those on the bottom having power, and some Black lives, Black people, the majority of whom are workers. The centrality of the Black freedom movement for national liberation, for the labor movement. For me, because the fights he and I had were for me to do better, to think harder, to write more, to remain focused, to have an act on vision. About Salo, how Salo got the representatives of the Black nation and indigenous peoples marching the anti-bicentennial march in 1976, but I don't have time. If I had time, I had the African Institute march, the gang signs, the roles he played in the anti-struggles in Philadelphia, the Black United Front of Philadelphia, the National Black Union. We don't have time. Thanks so much more. And as a Muslim, he over ritual, humility, family. Only God is perfect. His good deeds outweigh the bad. That Allah forgives all of his sins, right? In paradise for those.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. This is another Saladin.
said, he said, Dad, got him caught, or I got him court martial. He was born 1895. He told us, he said, you don't have to say yes, sir, to any. So, you know, Saladin took that to so anyway, they court martial. And he told me when had sent him down to the Dominican Republic, you know what I'm saying, San Domingo. He said the brother was so dark, so he was black as coal, and he didn't have shoes on, and almost can shoot this, you know, and right here on when the Klan was trying to walk down Main Street, and Saladin got the words, group troops together, and he said, and so the mayor, they had to stop the march. He said, the mayor here, and so they stopped it all. I just had to just stop.
So, for our next speaker, this is Brother Saladin's brother. I never met him, but did you see him? You know?
Peace, my name is Mohammed Adil. I'm from Philadelphia. Was my best friend. Wait, where's my time? This is the quick 4 minutes. But Saladin was, I'm 71. I knew Saladin ever since I was 2. But he recruited me into the movement. I was a leader. And every time I came, I would come around to their building, juiced up. And I was hearing things about black people that I never heard before. Every time I came, I stole a book from Saladin. So when I did that time, I was called the Young Afro-Americans. He said, I had to take an oath, confession. And he said, well, what confession about what? I said, every time I from y'all, I'm gonna bring them all back. I returned the book. He was a mentor to me. When we was up at John Wanamaker School in Philadelphia. These guys that we used to fight when we was in the gang. So I said, Saladin. I said, he said, you're a revolutionary black nationalist now. I said, Saladin, they coming to get me. He said, we're not going nowhere. So they came over and they said, hey. I said, they don't call me that no more. I said, I'm a brother now. He said, you're a brother? Yeah. I said, I'm a brother. I said, I'm a revolutionary black nationalist, and I'm scared to death. I'm talking my heart. So Saladin, and he just turned them all around. And I said, man, that was a But I want to tell you something real quick about it. In Philadelphia, he was a mass organizer. He was a walk. And when I say master organizer, mobilize, an incident would happen in Philly, he would pull us together, and then he would list the organizations, and we would pull them together for a coalition. We organized the first anti-program against the door pushers in Richard Alley. They cleaned up the city, but it got a little rough. violate ourselves. And the coalition was a little upset because we did tell them in the beginning we believe. Nobody else at that time was pushes. And we did. But things didn't turn out. Bob in the apartment with Naeem and was there. They wasn't home at the time. He had, and he demanded loyalty from everybody. I talked to him before he went on the ventilator. And he called, I still got my boxing gloves on. I'm still fighting. 4 days, he had told me he lost weight. I said, man, I'm gonna buy you some clothes. Get out. He said, man, don't fit you. No alligator shoes, no brown. And that was the last text he said, little cartoon with the shoes. But he was my friend. He was my best. 2 days ago, I was at work and I was walking, and it really won't be calling me no more. I won't be calling him. But you don't meet friends like him every day. Is that my 4 minutes?
Y'all say with me, we ain't going nowhere.
Greetings, everybody. Just want to use my 4 minutes to of Saladin. When I first met Sal, I was in Chicago, and he has remained a part of for the next 45 years. If you didn't know him back then, he was a force of energy and power. He was our analysis of the system and the struggle, and he infused everything with that place. But what stood out to me the most about him is that he looked and dressed like one of my uncles. So I felt familiar and comfortable with him, and thought of him that I grew up with, leaving their homes every day to go to work. This was in 1977. I was invited to the National Party Congress in Philadelphia. I had never been to Philadelphia. It was my first time, and I was so excited about the Congress. Connections with the forces and leaders of the Black Liberation Movement through Saladin. I went to the famous house on Jerome Street in Philly, met Naeem. Ohiwa and Muhammad and Nefertiti, I think, was a toddler at that time. Once at the house on Jerome Street, I experienced another revelation. When I would listen to Naima in another room, talking to her, I could hear the voice of my own mother. So it was a coming. And I felt like I knew I was in the right place with the right people. Another thing I noticed was that there was very little furniture. So I thought to myself, boy, revolutionaries don't have furniture. So I started, I went back to Chicago, and I was trying to live. My mother came over, and she said, girl, what is wrong with you? So I said, well, I'm embarrassed that my mother made some furniture. But on Jerome Street, I met Shafia, I met Askia and his family, I met Muhammad Adil, Jomo, and so many others. These are wonderful, key people in our struggle for liberation. That third party Congress was important, and it's important for us to write and talk about it at some point. The key revolutionary nationalist forces from around the country. Queen Mother Moore, Mansa and Tutu Shakur, Ahmed Obafemi, Akiyele, I think Chokwe, Lumumba was there, and other members of the Republic of New Africa. One of the key decisions, and there were a number of consequential decisions at that Congress, was to move to what we call the national territory. And many of us did that over the next few years. My grandma used to come home, moved down home. So Sal and I moved back down home to Rocky, came down for the first time to Rocky Mountain in 1982. And when I got here, he was one of the leaders of the Rocky Mountain City Workers. And I think he was at that time. But the main thing was that Sal and others were developing Baba Sufu. Sal brought Baba Sufu, having to bury down, and it was together. Then I met John and Gaza, and Gaza later brought Net, and quite a crew. I had at first moved to Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, but Sal then invited me to come to Rocky Mountain, and I moved down to 1985. One thing about working with Sal, that the work and well thought out. Here we could go directly to the people. So it's been 45 years, and we were dedicated to liberation of our people and class under Sal's leadership. Sometimes there were ups and downs, and we didn't always agree, but we loved each other. I love Sal. He was our leader, a wonderful human being, powerful political leader and organizer. Sal, rest in power. We'll continue. We will go on fighting until we join you among the ancestors.
My name is George Waxmunsky. I'm the UE Eastern Region President. On behalf of the national officers, the General Executive Board, Eastern Region across the country, I want to offer our condolences to Saladin's family and comrades here in North Carolina and across the United States. Saladin worked for UE. He worked in every district, in every region of our youth, the driving force behind a broad new UE organizing offensive in the South, which contributed and led to the birth of UE Local 150, the North Carolina Public. It is hard to imagine what UE would be like today without Saladin's hard work and our union. Saladin was a true working class intellectual. Deeper structures, the deeper forces that underpin working people's day-to-day problems. Looking at the bigger picture, he was able to come up with strategies that could break those barriers that we face in the working class, especially systematic race supremacy. Saladin was a mentor to so many of us. He was always with lessons that he had learned in his decades of struggle. I met Saladin in 1992. It was the first, pretty much my first campaign. And from the first law of his genuine kindness, wisdom, insight, and thoughtfulness. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was during one of the most terrible times in my life. We talked for hours, and he got me through it. I first started to come to North Carolina around 1990 with the UNC Chapel Hill Housekeepers. Over the decades, I came to North Carolina at Saladin's request. I was always thrilled to do so. In June, I let him know I'd be coming down here to Whitaker's for a meeting in July, and he offered to invite me for me to stay. When I arrived, I heard he was in the hospital. I drove over to Raleigh. Now, Raleigh's not my way home. I live in Pittsburgh, so right up route. But nonetheless, I hadn't seen Saladin, and I knew he was in the hospital. So I went to see him at the front desk for Saladin Muhammad, but they didn't know who he was. Organizer, right? Now I'm not going to give up until I find that guy. So I called in Gaza, and I knew his last name was White. I couldn't remember what White. They said there's several Whites. I found him, and he was so happy to see me. And time to see me, because as I was there, the doctor come in and told him he'd been tested. I was there with him when he got that message. Unfortunately, I had to leave, and I'm so happy that I made it. For so many of us youngsters, as our recruits, when we had the privilege of meeting with Saladin, it was like sitting at the feet of a prophet. Don't get me wrong. We could see that truly Saladin, we could all see Saladin had a life well lived. We know this by the number of people here, the number of people he mobilized and lifted up. For every person here today, there are 100 leaders he inspired. Everyone here today, there are thousands whose lives he improved, better wages, benefits, working conditions, self-esteem, and inspired them to take action, engage in militancy, and aggressive struggle. In working people, he had faith in our ability to debate, deliberate, and struggle with each other. He had faith that it is us as workers, the working class, who liberate ourselves from patriarchy, capitalism, and imperialism. And remembrance, we must carry forward with every step we take. Indeed, this was from the Quran. Those who believe and guarded, they have good news in the hereafter. I will never forget his smile or his laughter. Farewell, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. This time we'll have a representative from the North Carolina Public Service Workers Union.
Woe to him, nothing, and does nothing to give them their wages. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kia Royal, and I'm Local 150. We are public service workers. And I've been given the honor and privilege, Local 150, about Brother Saladin and how he has impacted not only our union with his work in social justice and building workers' power. Brother Saladin was revered and respected. He was a larger-than-life figure, and his presence alone demanded excellence he brought to the table. Brother Saladin made all of us better organizers and better people as a whole. Knowing Brother Saladin, we all step up our game because we knew he brought excellence. When I see his phone number come across my phone, I immediately did a self-analysis. I checked my emails, my text messages, just to make sure that before I call him back to do, and that's the level of respect that I have for my comrades. Have sent in reflections about their relationships that they had with Brother Saladin. Ms. Benita Johnson wanted me to convey Saladin mighty as his name. She said, as in her Chris Tucker's voice, the words they he says, Saladin Muhammad, their generations, we respect the Saladin Muhammad like the earlier generation respected Martin Luther King. I am proud to have been one of his students, and just to be known by one of the greatest men on earth. He was unionism. Like E.F. Hutton said, when he talked, everyone. We respect the Saladin Muhammad like the earlier generation respect. I am proud of students and comrades, and just to be know one of the greatest men on earth. And that was a quote. And another one of our members, Michelle Dunlap, how fitting for our strong, fierce, beloved brother to the hurricane, when that's what he was in life. Workers are to each other a wall, so supporting and reinforcing each other. The work that Brother Saladin did in this that held us together. Thank y'all. To Aunt Paulette, we relatives and our love from UE 150, and we have a plaque that we wanted to tell. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Are there any here that just want to stand up in solidarity? Black workers for justice. This is my legacy. Really powerful, so powerful, wasn't it? Hearing so many aspects of our brother's encouragement. But we heard a consistent strand, didn't we? Intellect, commitment to everybody to have a voice, and then to change in the face of his powerful. So this time we're going to ask his niece to provide a selection for us in memory of Saladin.
I just wanted to take a moment and say, although my name is on the program, I just wanted to take and honor the band that is here, which is both family and friends.
This time we're going to ask family members to come in your, and I know this is tough. I know this is very tough. Now, Mama, more time. 5 minutes. Hear from you. So we're going to ask that you come forward. Paulette Royal, Regina Barnes, and the teachers.
I got my oldest standing here with me because he knows me. And I want you to know, everybody's been saying, Brother Saladin was my brother. He's my oldest brother. And you are here, that Saladin is. I knew what he was. I knew what he was. Let me tell you something about my brother. Saladin has always had a war. When I was a young girl, very, very young, in Richard Allen Project, my brother Abdullah had decided that he was going to date a girl that lived in another gang territory. They always let him come in. He'd go see her, and they let him come in. And if he's going to get out of here, he was Philip then. Phil's going to have to come get him. Warrior. When Saladin came back, he was always a warrior. You know what Saladin did? He walked right down the 8th Street and got him go till he came down here. He let him know, I'm willing to fight. I'll die to bring our love. That's my brother. I thought about when I said on a personal note, at some point, I don't have that I had his money, that the money that he was supposed to, and I had it. I didn't know who this person was, never saw them in the house. And so one day I told Saladin about it. And I had a castle, and Saladin came, just randomly came up to 712. I told him, he said, now who's this person? I said, I don't know. I don't know who he is. God works in mysterious ways. This person came, he said he was coming. I didn't believe because I came to the house. And I was going to try to hobble to the door. And Saladin said, the door. And this person was there. And because Saladin was fighting drugs against the guy I knew who he was, and he was shocked when my brother opened the door. And the only thing I heard, he said, if you ever contact my sister again, he said, I'm going to kill you. You don't mess with my family. That's my brother. He knows he's a warrior and a fighter. He didn't just turn out that way. He's always been. And I was doing pretty good till I saw the big boxing. As a teenager, he came home one day out of the military. And he brought the love of his life. And she's been around for a long time. Since I guess I was maybe. So it's been, I've known her all my life. And it's just been a hard time. But I want y'all to know a little bit about the fighter. So you all know the fighter, you know. He didn't just become a warrior. He is every bit the warrior that is. He's always been a fighter. I we laughed, and the last time he said, I'm going to put on my heavyweight boxing, and I'm going to try to fight a little bit longer. And I fight a little bit longer. But he's resting now, and the only thing I have to say is that his gloves finally and stop fighting. Rest in power, my brother.
Good evening. I am not even sister. Most of you in here know me. But I'm standing on the of the siblings of Naeem Muhammad to celebrate the outstanding life of Saladin Muhammad. Well, it's okay if I ask our siblings to, will Naeem's sibling please stand? There's 3 in the house, 1 left a little.
not just honor Saladin. You know, we can't honor him without honoring the lovely woman that walked beside this long. Honor, and I'm telling you, it is. So I have a quick story. It's okay. I want to tell what things the next, not even. I mean, the next Saladin. Like this. Now I was younger, so this I really didn't remember. According to my family members, this is how I got it. So, Philip White, better known, Philip White, better known, came from a big city in Philadelphia to a small city in Rocky Mountain. This talented young man was introduced to a beautiful young woman named Patricia Thompson, better known today. There was where it all got in the later down the line, he asked our parents. Well, knowing how that happened, they rolled off into the side. And lived for decades. Thereafter, 6 months in sales. Later, 3 children were born. Anyway, and Muhammad. Better known as Harry D. So, this is how we met Saladin. But, you know, I just seem like all of a sudden, back to the big city. I mean, it was like she disappeared. When she came back, oh my God. My mama went crazy. She lost his mind to take her daughter all the way up there and change her name. So it all turned out. Look at this. That's right. I'm a high, really say, spend a lot of time around not even in Saladin. Through it all, I did whatever I could, you know, them get through this. And it was a pleasure. Saladin was such an awesome person. He was almost, he treated me wonderful. So I'm just telling this right now. But Saladin was all about unity and strength. His motto was what? You are united. That's would never be defeated. Saladin stood firm on that belief, very intentional about it, and executed in his plan. As our brother-in-law, we knew him to be a very kind, respectful, and hard-working man. He was a fighter. He fought for just class. That was the work in his life. That was his work. Saladin fought a good fight. Many about sickness and health. he never stopped fighting. In our days, now he himself and Muhammad fighting to try to survive. To Naima and to great-grandchildren, no one can love you all like your father, like your dad, your granddad. Definitely a family man. So we were really close, and we believe that you all will keep this dream and legacy. And I just want to say from our family to everyone, the kindness, the outpouring, just wrap everything around Naima in her time of sorrow. We want to thank you so much. She couldn't have did this without you. So I want to just say thank you, and we love you.
So good afternoon, everyone. For those that have never seen, my Aunt Regina read it in the right order. Couldn't believe I act like So, when we started to put this program together, I said to my uncle, but you on it, I don't know what to say, but I can't honor my dad saying something. So, excuse me, I'm going to give you 4 words kind of thought long about what my dad meant to me. From here, my dad and I were like this all the time, right? Constantly as a baby. So that was my, but I'm going to say 4 words. Legacy, which is a thing handed down by a predecessor in my dad's life and his legacy. And I know I'm being held to a higher standard in my life, the choices I make, the decisions that I make. Even in the earlier days, I remember one time we showed up at a march, free with me and John were Kid's oldest daughter. And if you also know anything about me, I love you, but my dad helped me accountable. And we showed up at the march with fingernails on it. And he told me to hold the stick with my fingers covered because you bring fingernails at the march. But I'm like, Daddy, I'm here. He's like, yeah, I know, but I want to think, yes, his legacy is something that I honor, and I know it is me as a champion to hold, to be accountable for that legacy. Another word is impact, having a strong effect on someone or something. Elaborate on that because you all, as everybody came and stood to talk about my father and the relationships and what he meant to you. Think of a word, which is a group of people related to one another by blood or marriage, but it is by blood the work that we do, the people that we live, our ancestors, and all of my aunties over here this side of the room, and my mamas and babas who helped raise us. Oh, that's my mama Shafi. Oh, yeah. So it's family, and I'm sorry, no purpose. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which my dad was created in purpose, for purpose, and he's going to have a purpose after, today. And as we get older, we know that for purpose, he was here for a reason, and it is just something that I would consider saying that I'm Saladin Muhammad's daughter. So, I love you all. Thank you.
I'm Openingwa. I'm Saladin's middle child, not the oldest child. Some people introduce me as the oldest and have the short oldest. I'm also the daughter that, so I am going to read on behalf of the oldest daughter. She is in Florida. She's safe, but she couldn't travel. And I wanted all of the grands and great grands to be with it. My name is Shanika, and I'm sorry I couldn't be present today. That's of me this time. I want to say a few words in memory of my grandmother, struggling with my thoughts. Saladin Muhammad. She called me, which was funny because her children wanted to know why she called her granddaddy daddy. But she called him daddy. She said daddy lived a remarkable life, one that inspired me with his adventurous attitude, his broad range of interests, his happy demeanor made me to know. He was patient and generous with his time and affection. He always met, and there were few people he wouldn't engage at any time or place. Friends over the years, and they always told me how interesting he was. His many endeavors diligently and always rose to meet the challenge. He expected the same of me too. He especially had a great perspective when it came to the little things, never displaying anger or impatience. Instead, he showed he was a huge part. He had a huge part in raising me and taught me, and he had me repeating as a child very frequently, the workers united will never be, and the ever true, organize, organize, organize. He always told me as a frontline worker in the medical field, and how he loved the mother I had to his 7 great grandkids. I could always hear the smile in his voice about me. I could always hear the smile in his voice that told him about me and taking on more responsibility. And he always commented, "You're really holding them down the fort." That made me, because I knew he was proud and never stopped bragging on his oldest grandchild, on his shoulders during the marches. He was a fighter from the beginning to the end. He touched, and his legacy will live on in his children, his grandchildren, and great grandchildren. Daddy, I promise to keep making you proud. And please just continue to watch over all of us. You are the best substitutes for fathers. And they play the role perfectly. Forget my dear Saladin. Sleep in peace, Saladin. And you calling me old woman. And most of us. And I think all of them probably have that same. And one thing that I will add, she would not start on his shoulders. She actually said, I want to go to the march. And they would probably be halfway down the street and she would say, my feet hurt. They thank you everybody for being here. Stories and your love makes this a little bit easier.
How's everybody doing today? His grandson, Jaquez. I didn't think I was going to speak, but I don't know if I was going to write something down or freehand, but I just couldn't. I was saying something. So I'm going to just go down memory lane. Just got so many memories with my granddad as far as like being up the block. He used to always want to go with him to the different meetings and meeting his friends, and just hanging out from endless road trips to Philly and back. Just got so out of nowhere when we were riding in the car, he would just say this little saying, quote me if I'm wrong, "Lord, who Ekbug, my brother. Lord, who Ekbug, my brother." Just saying that. I was like, brother, what you talking about? That was one of the same. And it was just two things that were this time would come, but it was to take just a road trip with just me and him. Excuse me, I couldn't ever get to. But my schedule was just being college and working the time to that, but it was just a road trip that we just never. And he was always talking about, putting the tux on, meaning be married. So I just wish that I could have made that happen. I just wanted to let him know that I did find the one that I want to marry. I just wanted to say a few words. I just not say that. So, one more thing. Can y'all just start our fists up for a little bit? Legacy and justice and peace. This is for you, Brandon.
This time we're going to thank you so much. Give the real legacy. Continue to try to move. We're going to ask our comrade, just one or two sentiments of condolences, and then we're going to John will come and give words of comfort. So this time, if you don't hear your card or whatever, please know family's got all that.
Good afternoon to everybody. Time restraint. I will only highlight the letters and say who they're from and maybe read one line or two. A resolution has been submitted from Alberta Social Work Program and College of Humanity Education Science Program. Resolution. We, the faculty, staff, and students of the Social Work Program and the College of Humanity and Social Science of Albernia, Ohinawam White, Director of the Bachelor of Social Work Family, to know that our hearts are heavy. We, as we in spirit, to mourn the passing of such a distinguished man, spouse, father, leader, and friend. Thereof that Saladin Muhammad cannot be replaced, but to live by his examples of guiding, giving, loving. He will be missed by many, and our prayer with the family at this difficult time. Respectfully program and College of Humanities, Education, and Social. Temple University, College of Public Social Work, Alumni Board, Resolution of Respect. Scripture, let not your heart be troubled, yet God, believe also in me. In my Father's house, if it was not so, I would not have told you. I go to a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you into myself. And there you may be also. John chapter 1 through 5. On him we bow down to a just and loving God, the passing of your loving Father, Saladin Muhammad. We realize the grief and heartache you has. Your heart is heavy, but we want to encourage, focus on wonderful memories that will bring comfort. For surely your Father is now resting. When the days come where the sorrow, pain of loneliness family, we remind you that James chapter 4 verse, draw near to God, he would draw near to you. Number of the Temple University School of Social Work alumni will wrap our arms around you, your mother, Miss Knight family during this time of sorrow. Lovingly submitted, Hazy Salters, Temple University, and the Church of Truth and Tabernacle sent a heartfelt letter of condolence from the co-pastor along with the pastor to express their sincere and sorrow and condolence to the family. One card will be read to Naima. One good touch more hearts than we'll ever know. Celebrate the legacy of someone who meant so much and wishing you comfort. Celebrate the lasting legacy of Saladin, who guided so much to the workers at Rocky Mount into the plant, and our beginning as CDC worker, Unity Committee to CAMU. Saladin taught and showed us that workers united can do. CAMU, UE, Local 150, Jimmy Thorne, Vice President, and acknowledgement thens their sincere appreciation for all support that has been bestowed upon them. To Larry Wellman for being a big subpoena and transporting Saladin to his medical appointments. Wylena Cammy for her to all our many friends and associates We thank God, continue to bless and keep each of you. Will please read the obituary on your leisure time due to time.
Thank you so much, Sister Steph. And thank you all for your engagement. We have one final powerful work together with Brother Saladin. And he and his team have been of so many places. And I just know what he's done in my life and in North Carolina. Give a round of applause, please, for Brother John Dillon.
John had a daunting task to share some thoughts about the life and legacy. Matter of fact, it's all really been celebrated. I just want to try to. Saladin wrote and created his legacy in the context of his people and the times in which he lived. And we read that legacy, community, and a movement intent on changing the world. That reading was for reflections we heard earlier, and will continue as you fight wherever you are or the long distance running. Saladin's friends, John Baraka, reminds us that often when movement elders, and we say we've lost a giant, and he indeed was a giant. Sometimes that characterization, he says, is just not enough. And this is one of his brother Saladin occupied a category that only a few have occupied as strategic thinkers and organizers of our movement. And as we said in November, this of Jim Grant, Paul Robeson was referred to as the tallest tree in the forest. He was one of the tallest trees in the southern forest and beyond. I seen poet and friend of Comrade Saladin published a collection of poems titled From. Some of you may remember that. And in his obituary, it says that Richard Allen Holmes in Philadelphia, like so many of his generation, growing in Chicago or Fort Greene, or Red Hook, or Marcy Holmes in Brooklyn, he was of a racist system that cared nothing about our humanity. He was nurtured by a sense of community and love for the people. His experiences only sharpened his view, as you heard from his brother, about the racism of the Islamic and reveal the role of U.S. imperialism in this hemisphere. And it's on that foundation that he developed a keen sense of internationalism. It did not develop from reading books, but from his life experience. But in fact, he was a vociferous reader of books and magazines. His experiences, his involvement in challenging these conditions, and constantly led to the brilliant, strategic, and theoretical thinking we all saw and that we all. We saw it in Saladin, sometimes referred to already today as an organic. We call him a working class grassroots intellectual. From the Black working class in particular, and the multinational working class. If we learn nothing from Saladin, we learn that there's a central need for organization to defend ourselves, and organization to advance our goals. In Philly, to the Revolutionary Action Movement, to the Black Guards, to the African People's Party, decades building formations to respond to the attacks on Black people by whites and the state. All of this prepared him for the next stage of his amazing. Saladin's love for the South was rooted in several things. North Carolina, and where he met the love of his life, Naima. And the South has been the place of the greatest concentration since we were stolen from Africa. It is the site of our development as a people, of our beloved continent. And so his migration south, along with Naima, and the Chavnaberi, known to many as Masufu, was a strategic decision to be in the struggle for self-determination and to connect with the history and activists of the civil rights as they manifested in the South. Fundamental to his project was organizing them wherever they are, in their workplace and in the community. With the slogan, "Organize the South," the call of the trade union movement since the 90s. But Saladin's understanding of that slogan was that it was not limited to workers' movement in the form of unions, but also organize the South for a strong liberation movement to give our people power for self-determination. The result of his work has been going over. I'm not going to reiterate all of the things that he did. You've heard it. But I just want to say that during this work, Saladin was guided by a strong international, I believe, with that experience in the Dominican Republic. And in support for African liberation through exchanges and solidarity organizing, Saladin worked with activists from Africa, from Japan, to name a few places. He displayed a deep understanding of the connections of the various capitalism, imperialism, and colonialism. Saladin had been one of the strongest unity in the Black liberation movement. His advocacy and work to overcome the fragmentation, and no doubt will be continued through the National Black Liberation Movement. In Saladin's practice outside in the workplace, he always fought for the impossible, the leadership of Black workers. He was clear that working in united, which led to collaborations with progressive clergy like Reverend Walker here in Rock, Reverend Nelson Johnson, Reverend John Mendez, and Reverend James Williams, to name a few. And to other professionals who shared the same goals in a particular struggle or campaign, expressing the centrality of Black workers. So many people are sharing stories and his mentoring, right? And so many that we never knew were coming forward. But I just want to say, how many among those who were mentored by Saladin? Look at it. Look at you. Us though, only picture Saladin, a microphone, a picket line, and a rally, and so on. But you can see from the slide of his family, right, that his family was fundamental to his essence as a revolutionary. We always hear the Che Guevara quote that the truth is guided by a great feeling of love. It's impossible to think of a genuine revolutionary. Well, folks, that love doesn't only apply to the masses, exploited, but foremost to the people around us. And his love for Naima, Muhammad, anyone, his grandchildren, and his great-grands was a huge part of his life, and not compartment today. I don't have to say anything else about it. His family was key to his life and his development and their achievements. And some of you may remember several months ago, he shared a team following the dance steps of his grandchildren. And it was funny, right? But it was filled with love. That was Saladin. And again, to the contrary, always stern and serious individual, he had a tremendous sense of humor. And you saw talking about his best friend, Muhammad Adil. And he often related to Joe, right? He loved and created those stories that makes you want to wear deep pants. And believe it or not, he was also self-deprecating. In a hilarious way, his mistakes and his shortcomings. He didn't always take them. He was a drummer, he was a martial artist, some have said that if he wasn't a full-time reverend, he probably would have been a cultural worker as a drummer. And I want to say one thing about the Dillahunt. Naima and Saladin are friends of Rukia and I. Comrade Naima and Rukia are ready to fight whoever needs to be. Children are close. I lived with Nathan Oheniwa in Philadelphia for a few years. Right? Say that Saladin fought a courageous fight from the day of his diagnosis in 2003, knowing the pain and suffering he was going through, yet keeping his mind active and engaged, inspiring. It would make you feel ashamed to talk about your own challenges. All the details of his health challenges that would make you want to cry and finish. He would say, but other than that, I'm cool. But in fact, he was cool. Saladin said, passed in the same hospital in 1987, said that he was at ease through Saladin and others. Saladin said he could see the future through and a mirror. As we face intensification of the fast state power and the attacks on Black people, women, immigrants, the LGBT and others, let's all work together and build a strong resistance movement to try to one of abundance for the many, free of white supremacy, free of ism, free of patriarchy and destruction of the planet. Saladin Mohammed. Saladin Mohammed. Saladin Mohammed.
We started out, this is not a funeral. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a funeral, does it? Symbolize love and change our world. We thank you, Brother Saladin, for being poured out for us. We take what you gave us, we make it work, continue to fight. God bless you. This afternoon has been a phenomenal. And we pray that, thank you. Family, children, grandchildren, we hope you were pleased with what you heard from me. We hope you take that with you forever. What we're going to do this afternoon, I know you've been smelling food. We're going to adjourn. We're going to ask person to go first. In fact, I want to get out the way and let the official folks do the while we are gathering around the fellowship food. Please get out of here by 5 o'clock. So we need to move sort of rapidly. We can ask to serenade us while we're eating. So we're going to close out the food because there are many faiths here today. There are many beliefs here today. We just ask that you, life that has been given to us, we ask that you respect each other, our relationships. And we ask that you are solidly grateful for what you live and make impact as our brother who has passed on to the next life. Well, God bless you.
As orderly as possible.